Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning with Faith. My name is Aislat Zeladon. I go by Sachi Ice Queen on a lot of social media. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about my journey to being a published author for the seventh time. Just a little bit of the process. So my bachelor's degree is in journalism, my emphasis print. And so I've been in the publishing industry for a long time because I was even in the newspaper staff for 3 years in high school. So that just kind of, I was so used to publishing and like other people's stories and little beats and just reporting the news on, but never really about me, always about everyone else. And so one day my real estate agent, her name was Dinorah Rangel, she saw something in the newspaper like a contest to win $2,000, and all you had to do was submit a poem. And so once she saw that, she came to my house because she helped me get my first house when I was 22. And then I did it, I submitted it, and it was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. I didn't win anything the second time I did it. I was part of the collaboration that they did of poetry. And so Eber and Wine Publishing, it's a veteran company. And so that just kind of started that journey. And so it kind of piqued my interest. I loved it. I loved the process because I already kind of knew it and I was learning it while I was in college and high school. And so I'm very, very grateful and thankful for her. With Mother's Day coming up, she passed away, I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago. And so yeah, just around Mother's Day and just randomly around throughout the year, I always go through my grieving process because she was like my mom when my mom wasn't around. Because my mom, she was a pastor for many, many years. And right now she's not a pastor because she's just like a full-time grandma. But she was my Dinorah was my mom when my mom wasn't around, other than my aunts. And so she taught me a lot of things of like the business world, and like she was a teacher for many years. She helped a lot of immigrants in Russellville, Arkansas. So like she she led me. She didn't just teach me. She literally showed me a lot of the ins and outs of the real estate world, but because I was one of her assistants for like a summer. And so after that first time, I wanted to do it again. So I submitted a second poem. And then I remember doing that second one and perfecting it with my sister, Abby. And the second one, we were semifinalists. We didn't win, but I think we were like fourth. We're in the top 10 in the nation. And so we got a plaque. And for anybody that doesn't know, so I have right now you can see my logo and of my business, and but I'm looking on my wall. There's 3 certifications that I have up there that I have more accomplishments and everything, but these are the main that I like to like remind myself of who I am, because used to be a life coach. Now I'm an ordained minister, but I don't really do anything with that. I just kind of lead my organizations a lot better because of that education and because of those classes that I've had to take and just the knowledge. So I have my certification of ministry, and I have my certification to teach Spanish, and then my bachelor's degree, and then my poem is up there as well. And so the plaque that they sent us, it was pretty cool that they sent us a plaque because we were semifinalists. We're in the top 20% of the nation. So that was really, really cool. I'm on TikTok as well. So if you see me looking, it's because I see that someone joined. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to um now do the same thing that I was doing since high school. Like share people's stories, like shout them out. Like I did it in high school for 3 years. And so, and then in college for 5, because I'm like 6 classes shy of having my bachelor's in Spanish. But once I got my certification to teach Spanish, I just kind of left. I just got a minor in it, but I got my certification. So it was a lot of fun. I will say this, it was really, really tedious work because if you are in the business world, you know that everyone is busy. Everyone is busy. And even if they're not busy, they say they're busy because they don't want to deal with it. They want to deal with you. And so it taught me how to make appointments. It taught me how to just just deal with a lot of difficulties in the business world, because when you're trying to schedule an interview, when you're trying to schedule an event, and just the interaction. So it taught me a lot of that process. And so I am the CEO of Zeladon Help. And then basically I've been interpreting and translating professionally since 2019. That kind of led to my nonprofit, where we break language barriers and culture barriers by perfecting people's English and Spanish. And so I saw so much need for it, and then I couldn't always go to those appointments. And so that's why I started the nonprofit. So in my mind, if I'm teaching you a language, then I'm not going to charge you. But if I have to interpret, then it is a paid service. Um, and so I partner with a lot of nonprofits here in Arkansas and globally, because I know in Michigan, I definitely wanted to shout out Pastor Cherise in Michigan, Mothers of Joy. Um, we partner with them a lot. Also, I wanted to shout out Gigi Sabat, Life Services of America in Florida. And we partner with her a lot on a lot of online conferences. And then just recently, we added to the list Dr. Rob Kelly. We went to Texas, and so now Learning Idiom has sponsored and been part of events in 4 different states, Arkansas, Florida, and Michigan, and then now Texas. And so it's been a joy to be able, in California, we haven't done one in person, but we do partner with a lot of people in California, because that's where my parents pastored for I don't know how many years before we came to Arkansas. But we haven't done, my mom went one time, but it was before we established the nonprofit. So that's the main reason. Another reason why I did the nonprofit is because my mom wanted to step down as a pastor and as an apostle, because here in Arkansas, we at one point there was 7 churches, and it was due to my mom's leadership, as well as the superintendent Maxwell, and his family. And so now here in Arkansas, at one point, there was about 6 or 7 churches. My mom didn't lead all of them, but we did help establish one in Searcy, one in Clarksville, one in Conway, one in Jonesboro, because those are all the cities that I remember traveling to when I was still growing up. And so, but my mom wanted to step down. And so she's just wanted to retire, And so, and now whenever they ask for her to go, she's like, no, I gave my time to my community and to my church all my life. Now it's time for my family. And so, she's very selective on certain events that she goes to and doesn't go to. And so that's the reason why we started this podcast, um, in Spanglish. The one in English, you don't really hear her, but the one in Spanish, I try to get as much as I can on Transcending la Familia, because she led a lot of people to Christ, because she led a lot of people to Jesus. I remember Bibi, she was a deaf mute, and she led her to Jesus with a little cube and pictures. And she accepted Jesus, she got baptized, and during COVID, she passed away. But yeah, so like it's been a long journey. But back to the publishing part of it, yeah, it after college and all of that, after I was published by Eber and Wine Publishing twice, then the first I loved writing poetry, because those were the 2 ones that I already had been part of. And so I wanted to start my own, have more royalties, have more just by myself, not be a co-author, because I was a co-author for the first 2. And so the first one that I did was Eternal Waters of Life, Love and Grace. And it got featured in the LA Festival um, in Southern California. And so that was the first one that was just me, English and Spanish poetry. And then after that was Accepting His Asperger Tendencies, which kind of features the autism story and journey of me and my son for 10 years. So it was a book that took 10 years to write because I would document just our victories, our struggles. Um, I didn't even know what autism was. And so just kind of learning not only the language, but the therapies, the different types of help that you can get when your child is not advancing and not meeting their milestones and meeting their goals as a normal kid. And so I definitely also wanted to shout out my son because he finally tested out of speech therapy. And so he's never tested out since he was 3 and he finally tested out. And so I was like really, really happy because I've been having to deal with his speech therapist for since he was 3. So then the next book is called Helping Hands with Hope, which that's a collaboration with Learning Idiom Ladies, and we feature a story of a woman, a doctor in Israel. Of course, my mom, because she's a minister, and so, and then she's from Nicaragua, and then other authors here in the States. And so, um, and one of the ones that we featured was also a fellow podcaster, PEG podcast, Positive Energy Generation, Shar Blue. So definitely wanted to shout her out and her podcast. She helps a lot of people in the financial world. Her significant other is also a realtor. And so then the next one was Transcending La Familia, which literally is three of the stories, no, two of the stories that were featured in Helping Hands with Hope, but we wanted to do it in Spanish. But it is bilingual, so it features the same ones that were in the previous story, but in Spanish. And then we added one more person, which like me, it features my divorce story and it's translated also. And then the next one is the bestseller, which is called Faith Moves, and it's a devotional book. And so that one, that was a collaboration with like over 300 or 200 authors. And it got to bestseller status, and it was a devotional book for this year. And so definitely wanted to shout out Gigi and Chandra Gore for allowing me to be part of that. And it was awesome to be able to submit and my manuscript, and it hit that bestseller status. And so that's kind of my journey of how I became a 7-time published author. My son has published 3 books, and so he's on his 4th. So I told him if he publishes 1 book every year, by the time he's 18, he'll have 8 books published. Not very many 18-year-olds can say that. So he has his goals and he reaches his goals, and I make sure I'm asking him and conversating about, his stories, what he's writing. And to me, it's really cool to see his progress in his actual writing. And because he's nonverbal most of the time, which he's definitely being more verbal, it's really cool for me to see what's going on in his mind and just kind of hear his voice, you know. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I'm definitely excited. Right now, we're working on a collaboration with business owners around the world, both English and Spanish. We're wanting to do a devotional book that is only written by business owners, so that we can shout them out, and at the same time, they offer some kind of inspiration, about 200 words. And so definitely wanted to shout out Gabi and Tiburon with David Contreras, because they're also bestsellers. So all 3 of us are bestsellers. And we wanted to do this devotional book. And so we're looking for 50 to 100 business owners. So, because we don't want to have that many for the devotional book, but we definitely want to have at least 50 to 100. So on one page, it will be all about their business, and one page will be the 200 words of devotion. So it's either it's been a journey, but it's been such a rewarding journey because I'm finally to the point where I always like to say, create my own abundance. And so to me, it's definitely been a journey. I definitely wanted to send my appreciation to, I'm a newlywed, my spouse. He's a co-owner of the Authors Are Us, the publishing company. So um after everything, and then the last 3 to 4 years, I've been dealing with a lot of immigrants, and which I've been dealt with immigrants all my life. That's why my stage name is Tachi Ice Queen. The ice is specifically because of the immigration side. Um, because my sister's a public notary, and so we've had to serve a lot of immigrant families, and so, but I definitely wanted to create my own publishing company. And so me, Claudia Fountain, and then my spouse um, created Authors R Us, where it's the first bilingual publishing company here in the state of Arkansas. There's some nationally, but I was looking for a publishing company that was bilingual, would like published in Spanish, published books. And so I didn't find it. And so me and her just kind of were like, all right, well, if it's not around, then let's just get it started. And so definitely excited that led to more opportunity to create my own abundance. And so I always like to say, when God opens a door for you, why are you going to shut it? And so he keeps reminding me of that when it comes to the real estate world. Um, so I'm excited because this is my third year in real estate. I was a consultant for a year, but when you're bilingual, you can literally do anything, especially with the amount of education that I have. I could be in any industry that I wanted to. And so I was only a consultant for a year because I didn't know if I wanted to stay in it or not. And so, because statistically proven, the people who go into real estate, they only 20% actually 20% actually pass the test to be a real estate agent. And then of that 20%, only half stay in the business. That's why I was a consultant for a year to see if I even liked it. And then I loved it. It was pretty awesome to be able to go through that learning process and like learn all the laws. And here in Arkansas, I'm licensed here, so I'm going to be licensed in another state. I just haven't picked the state. So my goal is to get licensed either by the beginning of next year in another state so that I can serve more of the country. Either Texas or Florida, I'm looking, or North Carolina, the Carolina. There's a lot of Latino families. So I'm one of the few bilingual realtors here in Arkansas. And so I always look to the areas where I could serve more Spanish speakers. Um, so yeah, definitely wanted to come on here and just kind of record this episode. And again, you're listening to Learning with Faith. My co-host is the modern day Noah. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has his little segments and little community here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Every Tuesday night at the Joint, they have 5-minute segments, and so you have to be there by 7 p.m. But the show starts at 8, so it's exciting and it's fun to at least have. We always, if we don't have a date night in that week, then that's usually our date night. So it's a lot of fun to definitely put your spouse, first, and like spend time with them. Um, I feel like that's really, really helped us to just take that time to just us to always have something which we do a lot together. So, but we always working together. So it's a good time to just sit back and relax, and he gets to enjoy what he's doing, and I'm at the same time networking with more people. And but soon he's gonna be in the Looney Bin in Little Rock, Arkansas. But right now we're just at the joint every Tuesday. We're not there every Tuesday, but we try to be. Um, at least twice a month. We're every Tuesday there. So, thank you so much. Oh, definitely wanted to shout out all the firefighters because the May 4th was International Firefighter Day. And so he is a former firefighter. His dad served a lot. His dad has a lot, both in North Carolina. Yeah, this one says North Carolina. Um, and then here in Arkansas too. So definitely wanted to shout out the firefighters of the nation since it was International Firefighter Day. As a realtor, yeah, they have to deal with a lot of structure issues and so know a lot of the terms and things. So hopefully everyone has an amazing May. Take care, God bless, and peace be with you.